You hear a lot about biblical prophecies these days. You hear about the Antichrist and the tribulation, but you won't hear a whole lot about this one. Probably because pastors aren't quite sure where it fits into the last days timeline. And it is for the last days. Since Israel became a nation, many Hebrew descendants have been making their way back to the Holy Land. It is not an easy process to attain the right of return and citizenship. You have to prove your lineage, and DNA advancements have been lending a helping hand. DNA testing has led to many surprised people around the world that found that they are also descendants. Our forefathers foresaw that because the Jews were scattered to the four corners of the earth, and because many of them hid their true identity as Jews, there would be a people in the last days known as the lost Jews, people who had no idea. It turns out, though, that if you are a blood descendant but you believe in Jesus, you are prevented from becoming an Israeli citizen. You'd have to renounce your faith in Jesus at this time in world events to be given the right of return. Descendants that believe in Christ have been called Messianic Jews for about 1900 years. The Bible teaches us that God will make sure that all of the descendants make it back to their motherland, but Christians will refuse to deny their faith in order to come back. So the lost Jews of today, still abroad, consist of those who have recently discovered their heritage and those who can't deny their faith. That is where this thorn of a prophecy comes in. Jeremiah 31:8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. This verse speaks of a final exodus in the last days. Notice the woman in travail reference. That is a reference tying Revelation 12 to the final exodus of Jews to Israel in the relatively near prophetic future. The Revelation 12 sign signaled the birth pangs of the last days. Something specific must take place in Israel before the final exodus can happen. Prophecy is taught that one day the Jews will be redeemed since the time of their crucifixion of Christ. The only way they can have that yoke finally broken is if Israel as a nation comes to recognize Christ as the true Messiah. When Israel does this, it will finally allow even Messianic descendants to return to the Holy Land in mass, fulfilling the Jeremiah 31:8 prophecy. See why this is a stumbling block for many? Pastors don't talk about this much, do they? But it is written. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you soon.